Hurricane Maria tore through Puerto Rico. People on the island are still in desperate need of aid. Resources are being distributed to all parts of the island, but access to drinkable water and food is limited. A significant majority of the island remains without power, and the death toll from the hurricane is rising. Here's David Begnaud.
Amid the misery, there's finally hope. This is Añasco on the western side of the island. For the last week, this parking lot has been a distribution center. Families drive up and get a single box of supplies.
Inside, you've got everything from potted meat, as it reads, applesauce, crackers, and candy. They're even handing out little MREs. Folks tell us it's actually good.
Aid is getting through, but it's a trickle. Downed power lines and debris still clog the roads, making distribution agonizingly slow. In nearby Atalaya, it's as if the hurricane hit yesterday. Homes are destroyed. Families are collecting rainwater to clean dishes and themselves. It's a nightmare, this woman says. We also went to Ponce in the southern part of the island. Here, too, grocery stores are running low on food. Even so, people are lining up to get in.
What do you want from your government?
Just to show up.
Daniel Pacheco is a police officer here and a U.S. Navy veteran.
We're just asking for people to move the gas, for people to move the food.
Boots on the ground.
That's all.
While the island struggles to cope, FEMA held a job fair today, announced as good news by the White House, to hire 1,000 people, almost doubling its staff. Residents here wonder, how many workers does FEMA need in order to end the emergency? Adding to that emergency is the risk of a public health crisis. The governor of Puerto Rico tells CBS News that 2 people are believed to have died from leptospirosis. It's a severe bacterial infection. And now, 5 other people with similar symptoms are being treated with antibiotics. Elaine.
Well, David, we heard about Añasco in your piece. What conditions did you see there, and what are you hearing about aid in areas outside of the capital of San Juan?
In Añasco, there was progress. Look, for the last week, they've had that receiving line. In fact, the governor was telling me that the mayor has set up something where the private sector has come in and they're distributing the aid. The mayor has simply organized the area. The governor has told us elsewhere on the island there's concern that aid is being mishandled. So he's actually asked the state authorities, the state police here on the island, to investigate that. In other places like Rincon, in Barrio Atalaya, you've still got people taking rainwater that they're collecting from their roof, bathing themselves with it, washing their hands. It's really hard to find clean drinking water on this island. You can't find it at the grocery store. You're having a hard time finding it at a convenience store. People are down to 1, maybe 2 bottles a day. Some people can't even find the water. The governor knows that. I flew with him from Ponce to Añasco today and then back to San Juan. We were in the helicopter for the better part of an hour because of some rain that kept us in the air circling. And I kept saying to him, what is going on? Like at what, you are so composed, Governor, but every day we keep hearing from people who are so desperate. Is there a day in which you lose your cool? Like, are you frustrated with this? And I remember him saying to me, I have to maintain my composure because if I lose it, people are going to really know things are wrong. But he said, listen, I'm not happy. I'm really not happy at the pace that things are happening. He wants it to happen faster. But look, people criticize him. They say, you're the guy who can make it happen faster. If you want more, then say that publicly. Right? Come out with some steam and put the pressure under people's feet. The governor has taken it delicately, I would say, with FEMA and his federal partners. He's given credit to FEMA and the federal government, President Trump specifically, for helping him out. But whatever help is being given is not happening enough. That's the bottom line. It's 3 weeks since this hurricane, and there's not enough water on this island that people so desperately need.
I always say this, but it really is so difficult to fathom. Well, David, you mentioned Governor Ricardo Rossello's fears of a public health crisis. What did he tell you about the efforts to save lives?
Look, the first thing he said was there were other suspicions that maybe there was some cases of cholera. That has not been confirmed. Look, the man's background before he got into elected leadership, he was in medicine, right? He was a researcher. And I remember him saying to me in the car on the way back from the helicopter when we got off the Black Hawk, he said, you can check the record. A public health crisis has always been a major concern for me. He's really worried. In fact, this afternoon he was meeting with representatives of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to talk about what can be done. Here's the bottom line. You've got people who are forced to drink water that is not pure, that is not clean, but it's some of the only water that they have. And the governor knows that that's happening on the island. So that's why he's so concerned, and he's trying to get ahead of it, because 3 weeks after this hurricane, it's still an emergency. And with no end in sight, now people are talking about how these conditions could lead to a public health crisis.
Wow, unbelievable. David Begnaud in Puerto Rico for us. David, thank you.